Hello.
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Hello.
Sir, is it audible, sir?
Hello.
Mic, where is going? Here, going. Sir, is it audible to you?
Hello.
Where is going? Audio going. Sir, is it audible, sir? Sir, is it audible to you? Video on.
Hello.
Introduce చేయాలంట ఆయన ఫోన్ ఆయన చేసేది మాట్లాడు అవర్ వాయిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఆడిబుల్ ట్రై చేసాం ఈ మాట్లాడింది ఆయనకి వినిపించింది ఆయన మాకు వినిపించింది స్టాప్ అంటే మనం ట్రై చేశాక మీరు మాట్లాడారు ఫోన్ చేసి మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేయండి అంత ఆయన ఫోన్ చేయండి సార్ ఒకసారి ఫోన్ చేయండి ఆయన స్టార్ట్ చేసుకోండి
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello.
Sir, your voice is audible to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, wait for a while and we'll introduce you, then we will continue.
Thank you.
Wait for 2 minutes, sir. We in live.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
invite our today's guest Prasad R. Bhagavan. Thank you.
So you can start, sir. Sir, please start the session, sir.
Hello, sir.
You can start the session. It is audible.
It's audible. Okay, okay. I can start it now. Thank you. Thank you. So first of all, I am very much thankful to respected principal sir of this Celebrity Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences. I am very much thankful to Dr. Rajnikant sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with the budding pharmacist. Uh, Before we go ahead for the further session, let me offer my sincere thanks to my parents and of course my teachers also. As you can see in this picture, because my teachers are the teachers who has helped me stand in front of you or to stand on my own capabilities. So thanks again to my parents, my teachers, and more than that, my well-wishers also. So the subject which we are going to discuss is very close to my heart, and of course, this subject will be of your close to of your heart too. So before we go ahead for the further session, let me first give you the brief idea about the present status of pharmaceutical industry, the nature of pharmaceutical industry, and accordingly we'll go ahead with the further slides. So the industry that we are representing is Indian pharmaceutical industry. As you know that Indian pharmaceutical industry is characterized by maintenance of high quality standards because it concerns with the lives of the people. Students, can we compromise on the quality of the medicines? No, we cannot compromise on the quality of the medicines. Yes, because it is directly related to our health, so we cannot compromise on the our health and on the lives of the people. So this industry is a highly regulated industry. This industry is also called as a knowledge-based industry. And there are many regulatory authorities because it concerns the lives of the people. As you know that medical discoveries, big and small, since last 2 decades, it has helped us a lot in to increase the life expectancy of the common man and to increase the better quality of life for all of us. So nowadays you will see that even if you look at people around you, they might be suffering from hypertension, they might be suffering from blood pressure also. So we cannot compromise on the quality of the medicine and we cannot live without medicines also. So medicines are the major component of modern healthcare system today, and it has helped us significantly to reduce the deaths, burden of deaths and diseases world over. Students, not only in India, but if we look at the global scenario, you will see that there are many deaths because of infectious diseases, and our Indian pharmaceutical industry is also contributing a lot in the anti-infective drugs also. So if you look around you, you can see that now medicines are now become an integral part of our healthcare system, and it is absolutely true that healthcare is unimaginable without medicines. India is one of the fastest growing economies of the world, and Indian pharmaceutical has industry has been an important constituent of pharma sector worldwide. So not only in terms of our country, Indian industry is also contributing to prospering the economy of the world pharmaceutical sector also. If we look at this data, or if we look at these figures, as you can see here, our industry has achieved historic milestones. If we look at the turnover, our industry has crossed a turnover of more than 1.4 lakh crore rupees. And the total size of the industry, including drugs and medical devices, it has crossed from 3.1 lakh crores and is currently having a growth rate of 7 to 8% in drug sector, and 15 to 16% in medical sector also. Thus, Indian pharmaceutical industry is the third largest in the world in terms of volume and 10th largest in terms of value. More than that, students, we are really proud that our industry has also been called as the pharmacy of the world. Why we are called as the pharmacy of the world? Because India is one of the biggest supplier of low-cost vaccines in the world. And because of its low price and high quality, Indian medicines are preferred worldwide, thereby rightly naming our country is called as the pharmacy of the world. Students, we are really happy that even in case of COVID-19 vaccines also, we are supplying these vaccines to many of these countries. So not only in COVID-19 of vaccine, but if you look at the earlier history also, we are one of the biggest supplier of low cost vaccines in the world. The price incurred on manufacturing of vaccines or other drugs and pharmaceuticals is almost 50% low if you compare it with the other countries. And students, more than that, we cannot compromise on the quality of the medicines. So that's why India is called as the pharmacy of the world. India is the biggest or largest supplier of generic drugs globally also. It is also interesting to know that we supply more than 80% of antiretroviral drugs used globally to combat the AIDS, and they are being supplied by Indian pharmaceutical firms. This is very much interesting. As I said earlier, we are one of the biggest supplier of anti-infective drugs also. As you can see here, more than 80% of our antiretroviral drugs, they are being supplied globally, um, to combat the AIDS also. Indian pharmaceutical supplies over 50% of global demand for various vaccines. More than that, students, we are really happy that we are really pleased to know that we supply drugs to more than 200 countries in the world. We are one of the major exporters also. And look at those countries where we supply our drugs. We supply to the highly regulated markets like US, West Europe, Japan, and Australia also. And with US being one of the key market for us. As you can see here, nowadays healthcare awareness is increasing, and now people are willing to spend on quality healthcare, and that itself creates a huge market potential. Medicine spending in India is projected to grow around 9 to 10% in next 5 years. So, which will help us to become one of the top 10 countries in terms of medicine spending. Students, if you compare with the today's situation with the earlier situation around 10 years back or around 15 years back, you will realize that now people are quite aware about their health, and now they are become very health conscious also. That's why there is a huge medicine uh, medicine spending in India has increased, and you can, and as you can see here, that growth rate might go up to 9 to 12% in next 5 years, and that could be the major cause that India could be one of the top 10 countries in the medicine spending. More than that, students, it is also interesting to note that change in the eating habits or lifestyle, that has become also an important cause of medicine spending also. Because of such lifestyle diseases also, as you can see that there is a progressive growth in lifestyle diseases related segments also. As you can see here, these are the four segments like cardiovascular, anti-diabetic, antidepressant, and anti-cancer. These are the four different segments where you can see the promising growth is there. And so this was all about the Indian pharmaceutical industry, brief about our industry. Hello, sir.
Sir, please share your screen, sir. 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen.
It's not visible, sir.
Oh, just 1 second. Just 1 second.
Just 1 second.
Yeah, please.
Again, you give it a try, sir.
Okay, okay. Hey, Giridhar. Hey, Giridhar! गिरीधर स्क्रीन शेअरिंग का येत नाही बघ परत त्यांना
स्क्रीन दिसते की तुमची त्यांना
नाही ना
युअर शेअरिंग इज पॉज झालं यार
परत टाकावं लागेल का सगळं
कोण कोण जॉईन झाले एकच जॉईन झाले
नाही ते तिथं स्क्रीनवर दाखवते स्क्रीन शेअरिंग का होत नाही
त्यातले कुठली शेअर तुम्हाला जॉईन करायची
इथून सुरुवात कर
हे ना
हा
आता विचार विचारायला दिसते का
हेलो सर हेलो
మీరు డైల్ చేసిన నెంబరు ప్రస్తుతం బిజీగా ఉంది కొంత సమయం తర్వాత ప్రయత్నించండి ద నంబర్ యు హావ్ డయల్డ్ ఇస్ కరెంట్లీ బిజీ ప్లీజ్ ట్రై లేటర్ आपके द्वारा डायल किया गया नंबर अभी व्यस्त है कृपया कुछ समय पश्चात రీఛార్జ్ ఆప్షన్ పొందడం కోసం ఏదైనా కీ ప్రెస్ చేయండి
हेलो सर
Visible, sir.
is it visible now
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
okay so I can repeat it once again in next 5 minutes for only for 5 minutes then okay thank you
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
thank you
sir.
thank you बाहेर बस म्हणलं डिस्टर्ब So students, we were talking about Indian pharmaceutical industry. It is characterized by maintenance of high quality standards because it concerns with the lives of the people. As we discussed that medical discoveries, it might be a big or small, that it has increased the life expectancy of the people, resulting in a better quality life for many. Nowadays, as you can see, that medicines are become an important core component of our modern healthcare system, and it's absolutely unimaginable. Without medicines, we cannot live. So as you can see here, that India is one of the top 10. India is one of the biggest or fastest growing economies of the world, and we are the major contributor to the Indian pharmaceutical industry also. More than that, Indian pharmaceutical market turnover has reached 1.4 lakh crore rupees also. Students, it is also interesting to note that why we are called as the pharmacy of the world, because we are one of the biggest supplier of low cost medicines in the world. And if you look at the manufacturing cost of Indian medicines, it is almost 50% low if we compare it with the other countries. It is also interesting to know that more than 80% of antiretroviral drugs which are used in the treatment of AIDS, they are being supplied by Indian pharmaceutical companies. So Indian pharmaceutical sector is one of the most promising sector, and we supply 50% of our global demand of world also, as far as vaccines are concerned. Students, it is also interesting to note that not only this, but we also export drugs to more than 200 countries in the world. And if you look at these countries where we export our drugs, these are US, West Europe, Japan, and Australia. These markets are very highly regulated markets where we supply our drug, where US we being one of the key market. As we discussed that nowadays people are very conscious about their health. That's why healthcare spending is increasing day by day. And if you look at the rate of medicine spending, it will grow up to 9 to 12% in nine next 5 years. And that's why India could be one of the top 10 countries in the world as far as medicine spending is concerned. Why this medicine spending has been increased? Because the thing is that now, if you look at the, there is a change in eating habits also, there is a change in lifestyle diseases also. So it is also one of the key factors that there is a growth in lifestyle related diseases segments also. But students, in the coming days, these could be the three therapeutic areas where you can see that maximum growth will be there. It might be a cardiovascular, it might be anti-diabetic, antidepressant, and anti-cancer drug. So students, this was brief about the Indian pharmaceutical industry. As you can see here, before we go ahead our presentation, first look at the what is pharmaceutical value chain. So pharmaceutical value chain is nothing but the chain which starts entirely from a drug discovery to drug marketing. In drug discovery, as you know that it involves the identification, synthesis, and screening of chemicals and therapeutic uh, chemicals for their therapeutic efficacy. Then later on, it reaches to the drug development, manufacturing, distribution, and finally sales and marketing. So this sales and marketing department is also called as a medico marketing also. Students, this sales and marketing department is nowadays very highly valuable, because the thing is that even though your plant is approved by US FDA or there are other regulatory authorities also, but it depends on you that how you market your drugs. So just for your introduction or just for your preliminary knowledge, as you can remember here, that this is the pharmaceutical value chain and these are the five different states. And it starts from drug discovery, drug development, manufacturing, distribution, and finally it reaches to the sales and marketing department. If you look at these five people, as you can see here, out of these five people, only one of them has been selected. Why this one of them has been selected? Because the thing is that we'll see it step by step. But students, we must remember first that Indian pharmaceutical industry is a knowledge-based industry. It is a field of innovation and it is well known for appreciating the talent. It is also important to note that there you will find that there are many examples in life, in other industries also, where people have joined only as a management trainee or a production trainee in their career, but later on they ended their career with a managing director of the company, factory manager of the company, or many of them they have started their own pharmaceutical units also. So what I mean to say is that pharmaceutical industry is a knowledge-based industry. This industry always appreciate the innovation, and more than that, it appreciates the real talent. Students, whenever you approach for any of these interviews, any interviews in your life, please note that your approach should be a progressive approach, because there are two. Because if you look at these industries, it doesn't matter whether it is a pharma industry or any other industry, their main objective is of a progress and expansion. So whenever you approach for these interview panelists, these panelists should feel that your approach is a progressive approach. More than that, students, you can see many examples, especially in case of pharma industry. You can see that their units are in Goa also, their units, their manufacturing units are in Goa also, their manufacturing units in Himachal also. And as like the these are the there are different companies and they have their different manufacturing locations also. Students, we have two goals. One is a short-term goal, another is a long-term goal. What is our short-term goal? Our short-term goal might be to secure a good marks, to secure a specific certificate for some seminar or a sport activity. But what is our long-term goal? Students, definitely I am aware that you have also decided your long-term goals. And company always give preference to those people who have decided long-term goals in their life. Why? Because they always wants to see that whenever you join any organization, you must be there with that organization at least for a year. So any experience below than 1 year is not at all countable, because the thing is that company has invested time, money, and energy to train you. So instead of leaving that organization within a year, my request to all of you is that at least be there with that organization at least for a year, because these people they have invested their time, money, and energy. These are one of the most precious resources. So don't lose that resources. And also note that, and please note that any experience which is below 1 year any in your initial stage will not be counted at all. Companies always give preference to those people who can lead a team with passion. So, students, specifically here, I am using the word passion because whenever you lead a team, you should lead that team with passion, and more than that, you should set an example for the others. Students, today, see for example, if you join any organization this year, next year again, this industry will go for recruitment and they will take the joinings of the fresh trainees also. So those trainees should feel that you are one of the best person for them who is leading the team. So that's why my request to all of you is that you should set an example for the others. Students, do you think that there will be any compromise on self discipline? No, there should not be any compromise in the self discipline. If you look at in and around you, you will find that why people have achieved one of the best positions in their career. It is only because of these people are they have their self discipline. So students, please note that there is no compromise at all on self discipline. Ability to communicate effectively and team leading skill. Students, when you join any organization, then you will have to report your higher authorities also. You will have to get the work done from your subordinates also, from your colleagues also. So ability to communicate effectively, it doesn't mean that you need to speak fluent in English, but yes, of course, it that will be an added advantage. But the best way of communication is that whatever you are presenting to your higher authorities or to your subordinates also, that has to be understood by your colleagues and your higher authorities. So that is the main purpose or meaning of the communication. So ability to communicate effectively and team leading skill is highly required nowadays. Apart from that, you should have strong computer skills also. Students those days they have gone when we passed out. Nowadays, now people are very much aware about the computers also. So you must know good presentation skills. You must know some language also. Apart from that, you must be good in Excel also. And rest of the office, this thing, Outlook, you must be very much smart in that also. General awareness in terms of recent advancement in science and technology is highly preferred. So if you appear for the interview, you will see that yes, of course, there will be some questions on there will be many some most of the questions will be from your academic part related or on your project also. But the thing is that they will also ask you some questions on your general awareness also. So students, please keep reading the recent advancements in science and technology also. Apart from that, students industry will always give preference to those people who has got 3H attitude. Now you will be under impression that, sir, what is this 3H attitude? 3H means hand, head, and heart. Students, if there is a combination of these three factors, that is hand, head, and heart, if there is a involved, yes, I can understand that there will be there is an involvement of hand and head, but uh, is there an involvement of heart also? If there is an involvement of heart, you will be interested or you will be happy to know that your output, your results will be much better if you compare it with the others. So whenever you approach for any of these interviews, you should have these, at least these are some of these minimum qualities. One is that your nature has to be a progressive nature. Second is that please don't leave that organization within a short period because that industry has invested time, money, and energy for you. You should have an ability to lead the team and try to set an example for the others. There is no compromise on the self discipline. You need to have good communication skills so that you can communicate with your higher authorities and with your subordinates effectively. Strong computer skills, general awareness on recent scientific technologies, scientific developments and technologies taking place. And more than that, as I said, you should have a 3H attitude, that is hand, head, and heart. If there is an involvement of heart, definitely your output or your products will be much better. Students, as you can see here, pharmaceutical industry is like an ocean. As you can see in this picture, you need to think big and aim high to succeed in your life. Don't keep low aims, always keep very high aims. And as I said, pharmaceutical industry is it's like an ocean. There are number of departments. As you can see here, there is a manufacturing department also, quality control department also, R&D also, formulation, analytical labs, pharmacovigilance, sales and marketing. So these are the different departments where there is abundant scope. But it is also interesting to note that pharma industry is a skill-based industry, and people always give preference to those people who are specialized in their works. So my request to all of you is that please concentrate on your skills. Try to make the best use of whatever time is available to you. Apart from your academic knowledge, try to develop some skills, because students, the coming generation will be for those people who are specialized in skills. So try to concentrate on your skills. It is also important to note that make your right career move right from the start also. As I said earlier, you cannot leave that organization within a year, because this experience will not be counted at least for a fresher if you leave that organization. And more than that, you will also lose your precious time. So make your right career move, take your right decision right from the start. See, for example, if you have decided to be in a teaching, then go for the teaching career itself. If you have decided to go for a production department or quality control department or sales and marketing department, or for the any other departments of the pharmaceutical industry, but please make your career, or please take your decision right from the beginning only. Don't leave those jobs within a short span. This is interesting to note. What will you prefer? Salary, brand name, or a job role? Students, I don't know what will be your answer, but my answer is that you should prefer a job role. Why we should prefer a job role? Because this is the job role which is going to help you to learn. There are to learn the many aspects. It might be of production, it might be of quality control, or it might be of any other department of pharmaceutical industry. So once you get a mastery of on these skills, then definitely you will get better job, and more than that, you will get a better brand name also. So my request to all of you is that instead of giving preference on salary or a brand name, please give preference to the job role. Apart from that, you should have a clear idea of job profile and job descriptions also. Students, you might be knowing that whenever any company approaches for campus recruitment, they give the detailed explanation about job profile or a job description. Or sometimes even we have to apply on our own to the pharma industry, but try to get the detailed job description or the job profile. Accordingly, you can prepare your resume. See, for example, your resume for sales and marketing will be different. Your resume, those who are appearing for the quality control department, their resume will be different. And as like those who are appearing for production or other departments in the industry, accordingly, you can prepare your resume. This is what, just for your example, I have given you these 3 points. See, for example, if you have applied for a job into the production department, what will be your main responsibility? Your main responsibility would be to support the entire manufacturing practices, and more than that, you will have to monitor the implementation of safety practices, because safety practices are very important. We cannot compromise on the lives of the people. Apart from that, what is more important, what is important also is that we have to achieve the consistent results. To students, this consistent word is very important for all of us in our coming days. We have to achieve the consistent result followed by standard practices. We have to follow the standard operating procedures which are being prescribed by that particular industry. So these could be the three main responsibilities, just for your example I have given you. Apart from clear idea about job description and job profile, what is more important for you? Whenever you apply for any company, you must have a detailed knowledge about that company also. So how we can get the detailed knowledge of that company? You need to visit that company's official website. If you visit that company's official website, you will find out the if you go into about us section, you will see that company profile is there. You will also find out that in which business area this company is operating. You will also find out that which are the major products of this company, in which therapeutic area or category this company is having a mastery. And you will also find out that what are the different branch locations where this company is going to manufacture or is manufacturing their products. So students, please note that in your entire life, whenever you approach for any company or any organization, please visit that company's official website, and through that official website only you can get the details of all this information. Try to map your role with the management vision and mission statement also. On the When you visit the company's official website, you will see that there is a vision and mission statement, and try to map your role with their vision and mission statement. Because when you approach for the interview first time, you will see that those officials will try to see that whether your vision, whether your mission statement is matching with that company's role. So accordingly you can get an edge over the other students or for a better position. Students, there are some commonly asked interview questions also. We'll have to prepare in it advance so that there will not be a hurry at the last moment. So which are those commonly asked interview questions? It might be what do you know about us, or why do you want this particular job? So there are some questions that these questions are a common questions, commonly asked interview questions, and we need to prepare it in advance. It is also interesting to note that there will be a one question on what is your strength and weaknesses. Students, please note that while presenting your strength, try to present your strengths in a very humble manner. At the same time, we need to mention about our weaknesses also. But you can show or you can present those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. Don't present those weaknesses where there is a no scope for chances of growth. So try to remember. So please remember that present your strengths in a very humble manner and describe those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. Don't hesitate to ask the questions, as we are under always impression that interview is a one-way process. It's not like that, students. Interview is a two-way process also. You should also have some set of questions which can be asked to the interview panelists. See, for example, the as once you get the idea that you could get selected, then in that case you can request them for, sir, what is my detailed job profile? Or, sir, what could be the progressive path for me once I join this organization? So these are some of the questions that you can ask to the panelist also. So don't be under impression that interview is a one-way process. It is a two-way process also. In fact, I can request all of you is that please ask some questions to the interview panelist also, so that they will feel that yes, this candidate can maintain a good rapport with the team also. So please try to ask some questions to them. Connect your skills with the company needs. See, for example, I can tell you here, if there is a job opportunity in the product management department or the sales marketing department, definitely you need to have good communication skills and good presentation skills also. Luckily, if you are a good in communication skills and presentation skills, definitely your chances of getting selected are more as compared to others. So always try to match your skills with the company needs. Prepare a talk about your specific accomplishments. Students, this is very interesting area where we have not yet worked out on this many times. Always prepare a 2 to 3 minutes talk on your accomplishments or achievements. You might have achieved scholarships in your career. You might have achieved good certificates through your seminar activity or through sports activity, or you might have achieved good marks in your through your exams also. So whenever you get an opportunity, if those people will ask you, will you please describe yourself? In that case, please prepare a talk about 2 to 3 minutes in which you can talk about your accomplishments or achievements. Authentic information about your biodata. Many times we have seen in our life that the students represent those information which is sometimes it is unauthentic. So please try to put that information which is absolutely authentic, because many times it has been happened that whenever you join any organization, sometimes these organization, they cross check with your earlier institute. They can give a phone call to your institute, they will talk to your principal sir also, or they will, or more than that, they will talk to your senior professors also, and they will try to find out about your behavior, about your sports skills, about your academic career. So please note that whatever information that you are going to put in your biodata, that information has to be an authentic information. Emerging awareness of new scientific or manufacturing technologies. As I said in the beginning of my career presentation, you must be aware of what technology that, what manufacturing technology that is being presently used that industry. See, for example, if you are applying for this particular company into a production department, and luckily if you are aware that what technology is being presently used that company, manufacturing technology used in that company, definitely those people will get impressed, and they will be happy to know that you have concentrated not only on your academics also, but at the same time you are you have shown a keen interest to know the what technology is being presently used in that industry. So you should have a keep watch on emerging awareness or new scientific developments which is taking place in and around you. Students, it is also important to know that you should have a proud of your own profession and progress. Being as a pharmacy students, my request to all of you is that this is the industry or this is the profession where you will find that there is no recession. If you compare it with the other industries, you will see that somehow there is a recession is there, but this is the industry where you can see that there is no recession, and this industry is a knowledge based industry, and it appreciates the real talent. So first of all, you should have a proud of your own profession and whatever progress that you have made in your life. Students, you are really lucky that you are into a field of a pharmacy profession where there are abundant opportunities are there. It matters how you take those opportunities, and how you take the right decisions from your beginning. If you have a proud of your own profession, definitely you will enter into a positive attitude. And if you are a positive about your career, about your profile, definitely you will try to believe in your own self capabilities. If you believe in your own self belief or self if you have a self belief in your own capabilities, you will enter into a right frame of mind. And because of right frame of mind only, your results, your output will be 100% much better than if you compare with the other students. In this initial preparation slide, students, what is more important is that first of all, you should have proud of your own profession and what your progress that you have made, or the progress that our country has made. Definitely you will enter into a right frame of positive mind. Just for example, students, here I have given you for example, on this particular date like 8th, now your interviews are fixed. Now students, what will happen? As you can see here, whenever you approach for these interviews, try to find out the exact location and landmark, and try to reach that place at least 15% in advance, so that there will not be a hurry at all. For example, if your interviews are at institute level, no problem in finding out the location. But the thing is that sometimes the second interviews are at the company's office. So try to find out the nearby landmark of that company, so that you can reach that place at least 15 minutes earlier. Students, these are the three changes you might observe if you are serious about your career. You will see that there is a slight increase in body temperature. More than that, your palms are also sweaty. Your respiration rate has also been increased, and there is a slight nervous energy also. But no need to fear at all, because these are signs of gearing up to perform. Perform. Now, how we can present ourselves and our documents. Students, being as a pharmacy student, do you think that there is a need that I should talk on formal dress to appear for an interview? No. You will understand. Being as a pharmacy student, you understand the importance of formal dress, because formal dress is the dress which is required to gain the trust, and which will also help you to command a respect also. But here, my request to all of you is that please try to avoid the new clothes. Why we should avoid the new clothes? Because generally, for that particular day, we are not comfortable in new clothes. So use those clothes which you regularly use. It should be, but it should be clean and ironed. Don't forget to carry a pen with you, because once you enter the interview cabin, and if those people ask you to write any structure or to write down any formula or a plan, and unfortunately if you have forgotten to carry a pen, it will create a very bad impression. So please don't forget to carry a pen with you. Students, these are very simple steps, but at the end of the day, these simple steps will help you to get an edge over the other students. Please note that all the documents should be arranged in a logical and sequential manner. You should carry a copy of application, that is application with you. You should have a one copy of resume also. You can keep a certificates of qualifying exams. No need to carry the original certificates. You can carry the photocopies of certificates also. Don't present any certificate or documents unless asked for. We have seen many students, because they present those certificates or carry those documents which are absolutely not related with that particular profile. So, and more than that, you can show these certificates to the panelists only when they are being asked by these officials. So, no need to present when there is a no requirement, or unless asked by these panelists. Collect all certificates given for perusal at the interview. Students, once your interview is over, then you can request these officials and you can collect your all certificates. It is also important to note that don't appear a desperate attempt. Why? You should reflect the three C's during the interview. That is, you need to be cool, calm, and confident. So please remember these three C's in your entire interview process. You need to be a cool person, calm person, and more than that, you need to be a confident person. Now, how we can enter, how we can sit, and how we can exit? As you know that first impression is going to make a big difference in your career, and first impression is the last impression. So once you enter that interview room or interview cabin, those people should feel that yes, this is the right candidate that we are looking for our uh, department. That impression you need to create immediately within in just 1 or 2 minutes once you enter the cabin. Please turn off or switch off your phone. Then please knock the door twice or thrice before. Once they announce the name, your name, then immediately you should knock the door twice or thrice. Then only you can enter into that interview cabin. Once you enter into the interview cabin, immediately you should greet the interviewers. You can have a quick look at your watch. If it is a morning session, you can say good morning to everyone. If it is afternoon session, you can say good afternoon everybody. Or evening session, then accordingly you can say good evening to everybody. So immediately once you enter the cabin, you should greet the interviewers. And more than that, you can stand aside for a few minutes. So you can sit down only after you are asked to. And please note that say thank you before being seated. Students, these are very small etiquettes and manners, but these etiquettes and manners will make a big difference in your career. Don't sit down if it has been not asked by these officials. Of course, definitely they will say you, please be seated. But before being seated, please say thank you to all the panelists. If there is a space problem, then you can pull a chair. Instead of pulling a chair, you can lift it. This second word is very important for me. While sitting, please sit straight. If you sit straight, it shows that you are a confident person. Don't keep any paper material on the table, otherwise it will feel that it looks very ill mannered approach. While answering a question, look at the interviewer. In our college career, yeah, or in our academic career, we can see that whenever we ask the questions to the students, we look at the outside, we look at the doors, we look at the windows, and then we answer the questions. But in the corporate practices, if any question is being thrown by these panelists, you need to look at the eyes of the interviewer. If you look at the eyes of the interviewer, it shows that you are a confident person. Again, at the end of interview, you can get up and move out only after thanking the interviewer. Replace the chair and other things in the original place when you leave the place. Sometimes we have to pull the chair, we have to lift the chair, or we have to make the arrangements comfortable as per our requirement. So before leaving that cabin, before leaving that room, please note that you can replace that chair at its original place. While moving out, step back first. Look at this process, students. While moving out, step back first, then turn, and then walk away. This is the way that we should follow in our regular practice also, in fact. Step back first initially, then turn, and then walk away. Students, this picture is very interesting picture. If you look at this picture, it's a poor interview technique. If you look at this picture, as you can see here, that this candidate appears to be too relaxed. More than that, he has got a overconfident attitude, and he's very casual about his interview, and he is very casual about his career also. Look at the way by which he has rested his hands on the shoulder, on the chair. Do you think that this candidate will be selected? No, not at all. 100% he will be rejected from that interview. It appears to be too relaxed. He has got a overconfident attitude, and he is very casual about the about the interview, and it reflects that he is not serious about this his career. This is the example of poor interview technique. Now, if you look at this second picture, as you can see here, this candidate appears to be very smiling approach. He's got a confident attitude, but at the same time, he is not overconfident and overconfident. But more than that, look at his hands. His hands are in a very stable position, and his entire personality appears to be in a very positive manner. Students, if you compare with this picture, here he has got a very casual approach, overconfident attitude. He is not serious about his career. But if you look at this picture, he is serious about his career. At the same time, he is welcoming any questions also. At the same time, he has got a confident attitude also, and his hands are in a stable position. And more than that, students, if you look at his entire personality, it look it appears to be very positive. So this is what the difference between a poor interview technique and a good interview technique. I am sure that students, you will remember this picture in your you will remember these two pictures in your lifetime. Now the time has come of answering questions. Now, how can we answer the questions, or the way by which we can answer the question? First is that we must listen the questions very carefully, and if not understood, then you can politely request for a repeat. Don't answer the questions with simple yes or no. Students, there might be some questions that these panelists, they wants to see your thinking process, they wants to see your thought process, they want to see, or they want to judge your communication skills also. So please don't answer these questions with simple yes or no. Try to elaborate these answers in a different way, so that they can understand your thought process, thinking process, and they will be able to judge your communication skills also. But usually you should give the short answers unless giving for the longer ones. Show confidence but not arrogance. There is a very thin line, and that thin line has to be maintained between confidence and arrogance. You need to be a confident person, but at the same time you should not be an arrogant person. At any point of time, if these officials feel that felt that you are an arrogant person, 100% you will lose that job opportunity. Be firm when you are sure, otherwise starts with statements like I think or as far as I know. Students, uh, you might be able to answer the questions which has been asked to your academic or your project related work, but there are some questions where we may not be perfectly give the answers to perfect answers to those questions. In that case, you can use these words or you can use these phrases. Sir, I think, or as far as I know. I can give you a small example here. Suppose those people ask you about, these panelists ask you about what is the present turnover of pharmaceutical industry in India. And unfortunately, if you are not knowing the exact details of details or data, then in that case you can say that, sir, I think, or as far as I know, the turnover of pharmaceutical industry is more than 3 lakh crores. So this is how you need to use these words, I think, or as far as I know, and try to speak clearly and loudly so that they can listen it very carefully and easily also. Answer immediately without wasting time. In our regular vivas in practicals, we can understand that time can we can look at outside, we can look at the doors and windows, and this is how we waste our time. But in corporate practices, we cannot waste the time, because as you know that time is a very precious. Otherwise, those people will not be interested in your profile, and more than that, you will lose that job opportunity also. Answer should not be given in a raised voice, even when question comes in that manner. Sometimes some people have tendency to ask the questions in a raised voice. But please note that no need to give the answer in that raised voice. Instead of that, you can give the answer in a very low tone. That is very much preferable. Always try to give, please do not give any additional information to these panelists. Sometimes students, additional information may create a problem. So please try to avoid that additional information. For compliments, say thank you to the interviewers. Students, for example, if you have got some certificates through your resume, through your seminar activity or sports activity, or you might have got some certificate from the university for your outstanding career. In that case, if those people, when they are going through your resume, if they say, or if they compliments, or if they appreciate your performance, then immediately you should say thank you to the panelists, because that shows good etiquettes, manners, and practices, because they are complimenting your performance. For rejecting the answers, of course, you can say sorry, because it is not at all expected that you are answerable to all questions. Yes, we can understand that there are some questions where we may not be answerable. In that case, you can say sorry to those panelists. Please, please try to avoid the repeating of answers, phrases, or words that will uh, have a will not have a good impression on our career. Now, as far as interactions are concerned, you can remember those two pictures. One is of poor interview technique, and other is of a bad interview. Sorry, good interview technique. We need to think about only about the good interview technique. Why body language is important in our interview process? uh, your hands should be in a stable position. Second thing is that you need to look at the eyes of the interviewer. If you look at the eyes of the interviewer, it shows that confident person. More than that, as I said earlier, you need to sit straight. If you sit straight, that shows that you are a confident person. Keep smiling face so as to welcome any questions, so that those people will feel that this person is maintaining that three C's. Three C's means cool, calm, and confident. So even though there is a difficult question, he is taking it very positively, and please try to have a smiling face. uh, Avoid any disagreement with the interviewer. Please do not contradict their answers, because we are not there to contradict with their answers. We are there to secure a job. And during this entire interview process, please try to use a very simple language, which can be easily understood by all, because we are not there to test their communication skills. Instead of that, you can use very simple sentences, and you can use very simple languages. We should not criticize any other person, group, or a nation also, because if your approach is of criticizing approach, these people will feel that this person has got a very bad attitude, and he always criticize the other companies, he's always criticize the other people, other groups also. Please, so please do not criticize anyone. list the achievements with your evidence. See, for example, if we, in your biodata, if you have mentioned that you have got a outstanding certificate as far as your seminar is concerned, then please show them the certificates. So whatever achievements you have, as far as your achievements are concerned, if those people ask you, you need to show them the evidence of your achievements. Don't be too familiar with the panelist. Yes, I can understand that we need to maintain cool, calm, and confident, but it doesn't mean that you be too familiar with the panelist, because that will lose our professional approach and we will lose our job opportunity. Now, how we can close the interview? At the end of interview process, if you come to know that you might get selected, then in that case, you can ask them for a definite date. Sir, what will be my joining date? Sir, where will be my probable location of the jobs? As I said earlier, interview is a two-way process. Interview is not a one-way process. So don't hesitate to ask some questions. Sometimes, even if you may not get selected, don't be too discouraged at all. Definitely, uh, we will get sorry, we will get better opportunities in our rest of the life also. Students, sometimes we have to take the follow up also. Follow up through telephonic talk or follow up through email. We need to write the emails in a very professional manner. And whenever you telephonically discuss with these officials, please say good morning, good afternoon, as you can have a look at your watch, and then accordingly you can start your discussions. Now, how to appear for second interview? Again, in second interview, we need to be very positive and remember that already you have made a good impression with these officials. But it is also important to note that please don't assume that you have already got selected for that job. Otherwise, you will lose that professional approach. So try to maintain that professionalism. Again, thank the interviewer for considering your case, for their valuable time for you, and make your responses and questions as specific as detailed as possible. Student second interview is the area or is the platform where you can explain them detail about your job profile, your salary structure, your probable progress or career path also. These people will be happy to know that if you ask them on questions like, sir, what will be the additional responsibilities that I need to carry on? Or, sir, what are the job prospects for me once I join these organizations? So they will understand that. So they will also come to know that this person has got a progressive approach, and definitely your chances of getting selected are more. Try to build a good rapport with the interviewer throughout the discussion. As I said earlier, don't be too familiar with the interviewer. And here we are saying that try to build a good rapport with the interviewer throughout your discussion. Students, these are some of the negative factors that which may affect on your performance. Being as a pharmacy students, you can understand if there is a poor personal appearance, it will affect on your performance. Aggressive or superiority complex some students have, then it might have a bad impact on the interviews. Answering questions even before asked, it also got, it shows that you are it seems that it looks like very ill mannered. Then inability to express thoughts. In one of my slides, students, as I discussed that there are some questions or there are some set of questions where these people, they wants to know your communication skills, they wants to know your thinking process, thought process. And in those areas, if you are unable to express it in a elaborative manner, 100% you will lose that job opportunity. So inability to express thoughts is also one of the reason which may affect on your performance. Some students are not at all interested in that particular job, and just as a sake of practice they appear for those interviews. So lack of interest and enthusiasm is also one of the factor which may affect on your performance. Lack of courtesy, that's why again and again I am repeatedly saying that if they compliment your performance, say thank you to the panelists. At the end of interview, again also you should thank the interviewers. So that courtesy practices has to be followed. And students, last but not the least, and this is very, very important, lack of knowledge about the company for which we have applied. Please remember throughout your career that whenever you apply for any company or any organization, please visit that company's official website so that we can get all the details. We can get the details about their products, different branch locations, their business areas. So you should have a detailed knowledge of the company for which we have applied. Students, these are some of the commonly asked questions. Tell me about your sales skills, about yourself, where you can explain about your skills and education. As I said, there will be a one question on your strength and weaknesses. While presenting your strengths, try to present it in a very humble manner. While presenting your weaknesses, try to present those weaknesses where chances of growth is there. If they ask you, why should we hire you? Here you can explain them, summarize them about your skills and education. If they ask you about how would you describe yourself? As I said earlier in one of my slides, please try to prepare a talk, 2 to 3 minutes talk on your accomplishments and on your achievements. If they ask you about how long would you stay with the company, our obvious answer is that, sir, I can stay with this company as long as I grow professionally. There is no reason for me to make a immediate move. Are you willing to relocate? Means for a different location. Your answer should be should be yes, because if you are ready to relocate, definitely this can be beneficial for you. Why I'm giving you this importance to this is that, see, for example, today if they are looking for production trainees for their manufacturing location which is at Himachal Pradesh, but sometimes, or if your career or if your credential or CV suits you, the suits that for other locations also, manufacturing locations also, in that case definitely they will ask you, yes, you have been selected, but are you ready to relocate for a for our different plant? Your answer should be yes. If they ask you, what do you feel your chances of getting succeed in industry? Your answer should be yes, sir. Excellent. Of course, I will succeed in my career, because we must believe in our own self capabilities. And the last question is that, what questions do you have for me? If they ask you this question, what questions do you have for me? As I said earlier, interview is a two-way process. Don't lose this opportunity. Please try to ask them some smart questions. So, students, what is more important in life is practice, practice, and practice. These are the some of the challenges. One is that we have to achieve the targets, we have to accept that corporate culture. Then we are not that much familiar that that particular task has to be completed in that time frame. So, time management is one of the factor. Then accepting the hard facts and to learn it quickly. See, for example, if you are joined for sales and marketing department and production department, or the product management department, and if you are not good in presentation skills, and those people will tell you that, Mr., you need to improve your presentation skills. In that case, we need to accept it very positively. Accepting the workplace culture and feedback mechanism. Being as a students, we are not that much aware about how to give the feedback. So feedback mechanism is important. We need to use the right words. So try to find out some good words which you can use in your those words we can use in our professional or daily life also. And more than that, working in a team is also important. So students, these are the challenges that we have to face once we join the organization. As you can see here, from A to Z, 26 letters are there, 1 2 3 4, and it goes up to 26. So A to Z, 26 letters are there. Students, we are continuously talking about changing of our attitude. In one of my slide, as I explained you, once you have a positive attitude, you can have a self belief in your own capabilities, and with these capabilities you will enter into a right frame of mind, and your performance or your output will be better. Look at the second slide. If you look at the spelling of attitude, ATTITUD, and if you look at the numbers which are written below these letters, the total goes to 100. Thus, if we change our attitude, definitely success will be there. Now, we will move to our last slide. Sir, screen sharing is there. So what essential qualities are required? That is our last thing, is that we need to have a good health also. We need to have a problem solving approach. We need to have a problem solving approach also. Then we must have a willingness to learn also. There is no compromise on commitment and self discipline. You should have a good communication skills also. And students, more than that, what is required for all these freshers is that you need to have basic domain knowledge. And the last skill is required is basic skill. Like that, you have to have planning skills, decision making skills, time management skills. So students, these are the 7 skills that you need to have. You should have a good health. You should have a problem solving approach. Your approach has to be a willingness to learn approach. There is no compromise on commitment and discipline. You should have good basic domain knowledge. And last, you should have 7 management skills, that is planning, controlling, decision making, and time management. Hello, sir.
Sir, the last screen is not visible, sir.
Yeah. There is some problem, and that was the last slide, in fact. And there is one more slide, and there is some problem. So we have to end up.
Okay.
Okay. So
Question and answer sessions we'll have, sir. Just I'll ask them if they have.
definitely. So before we close the presentation, because of some technology problems, I'm sorry that there were some errors. But my request to all the students is that you should have a faith in your own capabilities, and if you have a faith in your own capabilities, definitely your chances of getting selected are more. And my request is to all the students is that you should have a proud of your own profession. If you have a proud of your own profession, you will enter into a positive frame of mind. And if you are entering into a positive frame of mind, definitely your output and your results will be much better as compared with the other students. Sir, if there are any questions, they can ask me.
So,
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello. Sir, am I audible to you?
Hello.
Am I audible, sir, to you?
Hello. Hello.
Sir, we lost to the system. Any queries? You want to have any 1 or 2 queries you can take?
రీఛార్జ్ ఆప్షన్ పొందడం కోసం ఏదైనా కీ ప్రెస్ చేయండి.
Hello, sir. Yeah. If there are any questions, they can ask me, sir.
Any questions?
Any questions? Everyone understood the entire lecture?
Okay. ठीक है. So, sir,
Sir, in the absence of queries, we'll write up, sir.
okay, ठीक है. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And my special thanks to Dr. Principal, sir, to you also for your positive approach, and my best wishes to all the students. Thank you very much, sir. Good day.